Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. Cambodia is in crisis. Activists, political opponents are arrested, sometimes killed. To talk about the situation here with us today is a key member of the opposition in exile, Rainsy. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being with us. Then the last reports from Cambodia are not good. One of your key partners, one of your friends, Kem Sokha, a key political figure in the country, have been arrested and is accused of conspiracy, of treason. What does it mean?
What happened in Cambodia in the last few days is a coup, not a military coup, such as the one Hun Sen made in 1997, 20 years ago. But it's a constitutional coup in the sense that all the fundamental freedoms enshrined in the constitution have been suspended, have been kind of cancelled. The authorities arrest anybody, including members of parliament, in spite of their parliamentary immunity. And they arrest people under ludicrous pretexts.
But we have to understand that Kem Sokha is a very prominent political leader in Cambodia, extremely famous all over the country, and he's said to be detained in the high security jail on the Vietnamese border. Do you have any contact with him? Do you have any news from him?
No, he is isolated. Even his colleagues, other National Assembly members, could not visit him. And still now, they don't know how he is treated. So we are very concerned about him. But he is not the only one. There are other parliamentarians, like Senator Hong Sok-hu, another National Assembly member, Som An, who are detained, who have been detained for 2 years now. So this is totally illegal. And there are activists, there are human rights defender, land activists like Tep Vani, who are also detained. And we call upon the international community to put pressure on the Cambodian government to obtain the release of all political prisoners, who we call prisoners of conscience. Amnesty International call them prisoners of conscience.
Let's precisely talk about the pressure from the international community. It seems that Cambodia is very far away now from us, from the West. There have been some condemnations from the West, the United Nations, the EU countries. But don't you think it's a bit beyond? I mean, less than you were expected as a reaction when you understand what happened recently with the arrest of Kem Sokha?
I hope that this time the international community will react in a stronger manner, because the situation has never been so serious since the military coup 20 years ago. And the UN Special Rapporteur on the human rights situation in Cambodia has described the situation as follows. She said that Cambodia is on the edge of a precipice. So we should do something before Cambodia falls into the precipice. And if Cambodia falls into the precipice, I think there will be consequences in the whole region.
But do you understand what really happened? Because Prime Minister Hun Sen, the strongman, the so-called strongman of Cambodia, which has been, in power for the past 32 years, he looked very secure to have to engage in a dynastic succession with his sons, putting a lot of people around him, and for winning the next election. So what just suddenly happened to him, according to you?
This is a factor you have not mentioned. It's a popular support. He's losing the popular support. Actually, he has the vast majority of the population against him. Therefore, he reacts in a very brutal manner. Before, he used to have the Electoral Commission to manipulate the elections, to ensure election victories for him in an easy way. But since 2013, there is a new electoral commission that is doing its job better. So manipulation will not be as easy as before. So the only alternative left to Hun Sen is to suppress the opposition altogether. Therefore, he could win the next election alone without any real challenger.
But some observers think that this country, Cambodia, is on the verge of becoming a dictatorship. Do you agree with that? Could you elaborate on that if you agree with that?
Yes, there is a slight evolution. Before, it was already a dictatorship, but behind a facade of democracy. Now, the facade of democracy has just crumbled. Therefore, there is a dictatorship without any makeup.
What do you expect from the streets of Phnom Penh, the Cambodian capital, from the people, the very people? Will they go in the street? Will they demonstrate against the ruling party?
Anything is possible now because Hun Sen has gone too far and he does not leave any opportunity, democratic opportunity, peaceful opportunity for the people to express their view and to bring about a change through the elections. If he suppresses the opposition, there is no real election, then we can expect all kinds of reactions from the public. It is why it is so important to re-establish the right of the opposition, the very existence of the opposition, so that the democratic opposition can channel the discontent of the population and channel through the ballot boxes.
So do we understand that you, Sam Rainsy, the opposition leader, you are calling your people to demonstrate, to go in the streets?
I understand them. I understand their frustration, their anger. But I am telling my people, please be patient, because the world is not only watching, the world will react to help the Cambodian people have the right to determine their future through democratic elections.
You are now in exile in Paris. Again, it happened before in your life, but you came back very triumphantly in 2013, in July 2013. We were in the same plane, actually,
Yes.
coming back to Phnom Penh. We all thought that with the huge welcome you had from thousands of sympathizers in the streets of the Cambodian capital, that it will be your turn to be in power. And you are in exile. You are still opposition leader. You're still outside the country. What happened?
I'm sure you will accompany me again in the near future going back to Cambodia. And you know, as a politicians, we know that there are ups and downs, and the situation will change because it is hard to predict that Hun Sen can stay in power forever, because the world is changing. There is a wind of freedom blowing all over the world, and the wind of freedom will eventually reach Cambodia.
But as for now, and if we talk about on the larger scale of the region, the Philippines, Burma, Thailand, now Cambodia seem to be less and less free and democratic. And back to a few years ago, there were many hopes of democratic development in this region, in Southeast Asia. You think that these hopes are just gone?
I don't think so. Some people may have tested populism, but when populism prove disappointing, then they will come to more basic democratic values.
Aung San Suu Kyi, you compare yourself, a struggle, a pro-democratic struggle against the Burmese military government to your own struggle. She's in charge now, and she's heavily criticized for the handling of the Rohingya crisis. What would you have done yourself if you would have been her?
It's difficult to compare one country to another and one leader with another. I understand that Aung San Suu Kyi must be in a very difficult position. The constraints around her must be very, very rude, very strong. But we must not forget that she achieved a democratic breakthrough. At least we can learn positive lessons, but there are negative lessons that we have to avoid in the future.
So, Sambarsi, one last word. You survived lots of crises. You think you will ever come back as a leading politician in your country, in Cambodia?
But crisis is also opportunities. So there are new opportunities for countries in crisis like Cambodia. But we will seize a positive opportunity to move forward toward the democratic goal.
Sambarsi, thank you very much. This is the end of the France 24 interview here from Paris. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.